Takar Shwadam, Winjar Alajars, Hatakar, Guarpeti Pachars, Harsh, Sibalti Yiguars, Ma, Ul, Udams, Winja, Waija, Waika, Hawaija Salwai, Takar, Palur, Winja Laja Daus.
Uhara. Ni.
Nature's Goal.
Sushi. Su.
why would you do that? Why would you bring politics into gameplay stream? Honestly, I literally don't care about. I don't care about Palestine. I don't care about Gaza. I don't care about like any of those. Like, there's conflict. It's been there for more than 2,000 years. They apparently hate each other. Like, there is nothing we can do about that. Tell you exactly what they need in Palestine, in Gaza and Lebanon and like wherever over there. They need Jesus. That's what they need. That's the point, right? Like, they see it as being moral because they have the moral high ground by believing in a different god, which is kind of ridiculous as a concept at this day and age, but it is what it is. More than politics, 21k kids killed in Gaza by Israel, like, isn't it a question to our moral standards? No, they've been killing each other for 2,000 years. There's hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions dead in that conflict, because it's been ongoing for, like, there's no resolution to that conflict. It's just two sides or multiple sides that literally hate each other to the point of absolute bloodshed, and it doesn't it's not possible to resolve it in any other way than absolute bloodshed by completely wiping out the population of the other party. I know it's sad, but that's how it works. We're just big stupid apes that like to kill each other. Like, that's obvious for thousands of years. It's not that it's like happening only now and right now, and that we have to do something about it. There's nothing we can do about it, literally. And quite honestly, just by other countries supporting the conflict in any shape or form, you know, bringing food and arms and whatever to each of the sides, it only prolongs the conflict to the point where you're questioning, like, why do we do that? How do we benefit by doing that? And the answer is we don't. We don't. We sell our weapons and arms to them, and it's just a proxy conflict where we can test our best weapons and like, but we can't resolve it. The more people speak up, it becomes hard for Israel to kill people. Israel is doing occupation of West Bank and Gaza. I don't understand how Europe, Israel fit into Palestine. Well, I'm sorry to say, but I support neither of the sides. Like, that conflict is so different that I don't care. I think it's wrong that we fiddle with it. And your point that what if 8 billion people on Earth say, what can we do about it? Nothing changed. That's literally the point why nothing changed, because nobody cares. And why should we care about what's happening like thousands of kilometers away? You know, I have my own life, I have my own problems, like why would I bother with more when I am not in a situation where I can influence the situation over there in any shape or form? Like, there's nothing I can do about that part of the world. Like, I can't make hundreds of thousands of people on the other side of the world forgive each other and get along. I just can't do that. It's not possible. Like, there's nothing I can do for them to start liking and loving each other when the differences in between those guys and cultures are so massive that it's reflected by the hate and war and like thousands of years of ongoing conflict. There are such severe grudges that it's not possible for them to get along. It's just not happening. It will never happen. It will never happen, ever. The State of Israel was officially established in 1948. Well, in its current shape and form, like, yeah, but that's you have to realize that it's normal for populations to migrate from one place to another. Like, for example, that is the issue with global warming. Like, you can't deny that the global warming is happening, and it would happen with or without humans, whatever. Like, what is the issue with global warming? We're not saving the planet doesn't care, we're saving us. But what do you mean saving us? Like, the issue with global warming is that somewhere it gets so dry that the population that's living there migrates, so mostly out of Africa, out of the countries, the Middle East specifically. Like, people have to get out of the super dry locations somewhere else, but somewhere else it's already ours. We have our border, we have our wall, we have our fences, and we have our soldiers. we can't let you in, but you can't live there. So there's the conflict. Like that's what happened and what's happening with global warming right now. The population migration is an issue for us because they are getting into our country, they are getting our jobs and stuff like that. Like the immigration or migration within the population is real, and it's been always going on, and it will always be happening. So the current specific border of a country doesn't necessarily mean that what I'm trying to say is that populations move, populations migrate. Like borders are just artificial line on the map made by rich people who want to, split the world and profit from it somehow. So literally don't care about that. I have a question. If we kill someone and law comes after us, why it doesn't apply to Israelis? Because different countries have different laws. Like in some countries, it's appropriate to marry only one woman. In other countries, it's appropriate to marry as many as you can satisfy or whatever. Somewhere it's appropriate to cut somebody's hand off because he was stealing. Somewhere he goes to jail. Like different countries have different laws. Basically, the laws are uh, the laws are social construct. It's socially accepted norm that roots from some moral code of the society, and the moral code is set by the thinkers, by the prophets, like you know Jesus and the Bible and Muhammad and Quran and like Confucius and Buddha and whoever, right? Like so, different regions in the world have different morals, and those morals are then rooted within the law. Like if something is socially acceptable, then it's not prosecuted by law enforcement, right? Like let's say that people were smoking cannabis in the USA and it was illegal. Many people went into jail. Now the legalization is happening and they smoke weed every day, like in LA and wherever. Like some countries, some states in the US do have that, some don't. Like for example, one of my favorite dishes are with poppy seeds, and here in Czech Republic we eat poppy seeds on like many desserts and stuff. And somewhere it's completely illegal because of the opium wars, right? They would go to jail for 30 years just to have a poppy seed baguette that you bring over from Prague or whatever. You buy a snack in here on the airport and you get to jail for 30 years in Bangladesh when you land with that, right? Like, so the social norms are different in different regions. And I'm not advocating like killing kids is okay. Like it's not. But there is no way for us to enforce it. Like the I can say that if there is something that is immoral, then it's that we, I mean the rest of the world, are supporting one of the sides. Like if Israel is killing kids, like we shouldn't support them. If somebody else is killing kids, we shouldn't support that in any shape or form. Like no weapon donations, no resource donations, no food or water or whatever. Like no, just do an embargo and just don't work with them at all. That's it. Even a comment is a step better. I will say about that with an example. Imagine you're living with your family. Some Israeli come from Europe to your home. You give no, it's their home. Like they live in Israel for 2,000 years or probably even more. Like you can't say that it's not their home anymore. Like where is the line? Do they have to be there for more than 2,000 years, 3, 5, or is 50 years enough? Is it 10 years? Like where is the line, right? Like I don't agree with the statement that they are Europeans who occupy a territory. I don't agree with that. And also, if there is a military conflict and one of the sides is actually literally using small kids as a living shield, like as it is in Gaza, because they are, like there's a lot of tunnels underground and they are like having military units beneath schools, beneath kindergartens and stuff. Like that's immoral. That's immoral. So if they are willing to do that in Gaza, like what am I supposed to tell you? Like killing people is immoral. Like whichever side does it, and that conflict is not going to get resolved peacefully. It's just not happening. One of the sides will perish sooner or later. Then someone can come to my house saying it was promised to them 2,000 years ago. That's literally my point. They have been there for 2,000 years. They bought the land, they nurtured the land, they irrigated the land, they made it work for them, they got rich, and now somebody is trying to take it away from them after 2,000 years, or throughout the 2,000 years. And no, it's not okay. Like this is our land for 2,000 years. It's definitely wrong if you come over and try to take it away from us. Like no, it's not okay. And that's the, from my point of view and according to my information, that's literally how it is for Israelis. That they've been there for 2,000 years and the conflict is robbing them for land that they've been, that's been their home for 2,000 years. That's my point of view on the matter. But maybe I'm not a politician. Israel's military offensive in Gaza killed over 73,000 Palestinians. Total death toll, which includes the... Yeah, and what about the Palestinians shooting at the Israelis? How many people they killed? Like, that conflict is so long and convoluted that the death rate, the death toll, is in millions. You are talking about just recent numbers. But the conflict killed millions of people already. And there is no way for us to judge that. They just hate each other, and one of the sides will sooner or later perish. And that's it. You seem very invested into that, so I suppose that you are local in that area. So my question would be, where are you from? Just out of curiosity, where are you from? Estimated to be higher, yeah? Yeah. Or health organization report that women and children make up large majority of the confirmed fatalities, with tens of thousands of children. Yeah, collateral damage, because local Gaza military is literally using them as a human shield so that they are not targeted, and apparently Israelis don't care anymore. Yeah, that's at least that's my point of view. It's the same thing that Putin does in Ukraine, right? Shooting rockets at Kiev and killing many thousands of, you know, kids and women and children and whoever. Like that's literally what war is. Like you can use pink goggles and deny that, but that's literally what war is. Just wipe out the population of that region so that we can move in there and take everything for us. Yeah, thousands of elderly individuals, hundreds of medical workers, first responders, and numerous journalists have been killed. Yeah, it's a war zone. People die in war zone. Yeah, unfortunate, but and I don't have to like it. I don't, but that's what it is. It's a war zone. Facts don't say what you said. Like, what do you mean? Even before October 7, Palestine's kids were being killed in Gaza and West Bank. That's what I'm saying. They've been killing each other for 2,000 years. 2,000 years. And after 2,000 years, there is no peaceful solution to that conflict. It's just not happening. From Sri Lanka. Okay. Okay. Well, you went through very recent conflict as well, right? If I'm not mistaken, there was major civil war like 10, 15 years ago. Something like that. If Palestinians react to being attacked, it's called terrorism. No, they. Yeah, well, it's just a recent attack. Like they attack them, and it's been going on for thousands of years. Literally, that's been going on for thousands of years. It's just the most recent attack. It's if one side attacks, it's called terrorism, and if the other, it's war. It's double standards. Yeah, well, it's the media. Like, you can blame media for that because media that's politically motivated and have agenda can use different rhetoric according to suggest something to you and sway your opinion to one or the other side just by using the rhetoric. It's just the media and their political agenda. The truth is, it's a war. It's a war that's been ongoing for thousands of years. You know, the thing is that I remember when I was like 15 or maybe 13, like 20 years ago, there were news about Palestine and Israel conflict in Gaza, and that there were clashes like all the time, and then it kind of stopped, and then resurfaces once every couple of years again, and this is just the latest resurface of the same conflict. It's been going on for decades, which I remember, and it never changes. It's still the same. They're just fighting each other. And lately, Israel was kind of latent. They didn't do anything, and Gaza started with terrorist attacks on Israel, and this is just a retaliation. At least from my point of view, what I've noticed. I'm not saying it's okay, but you, like, how many kids died in Israel lately? It's just that technologically advanced countries support Israel. They have the good rocket protection, so not that many people died during the attacks over there. But that doesn't mean that they are not attacking Israel as well. No, from my, but there is occupation. From my point of view, there is occupation. Palestinians occupy Israeli land. That's my point of view. If you don't agree, then you just don't agree. But my point of view is that Palestinians occupy Israel. My point of view is that Israelis liberate that land. They need to kick out the Palestinians. And that's the issue that's the issue that you can face when coming to the stream of someone and saying, oh, free Palestine, can I say that? Yes, of course you can, but you are always facing the chance that I might literally be disagreeing with you because my opinion is just completely different than yours. And I don't want to delve into politics here. I'm just playing a game about Stone Age. Like, look, in this game, you have Izila in here, those are the blue boys. You have Udam in here, those are the red boys. And we are brown, and we have a war. We fight each other. And the only resolution in here is to completely wipe out the other population. Like, that's literally what it is. Stone Age, 10,000 years ago. This is what happened in Europe. Like, this is my ancestry, literally. Why we are here? Because we won. That's it. That does not automatically justify every action taken afterward. International law applies to everyone. No. International law is a construct. There are like in modern society you have three different triumvirate of power. You have the politicians who actually make laws. Then you have the justice system that evaluates, and then you have the enforcement, which is the military and police who actually enforces the law that's set by those. And like in that scenario, like it's hard for me to explain this in English, but you know what I mean, very likely. So you have, like, not all the power is with some despotic monarch or tyrant or whoever, but it's within the system, right? And on the international level, like, you can have a law, but you have to be able to enforce it, and the only way to enforce it is with military. So, and who's going to send the military over there? Just like, only if one side, like, at this day and age, only if one side has the same political agenda on a global scale. Like, for example, if one part is Christian and capitalist Democrats, and the other part is I don't know, communists, like, and there's the clash of political beliefs. In that situations, you can see, like, for example, what's happening in Ukraine. Then one part of the world, like the capitalist Democratic Party, is supporting the one side, and then the Communist Party is supporting the other side, and there's a proxy war that's just clashing these political beliefs, and similar thing kind of happens in Israel as well, right? And I don't know, it's just there's no peaceful solution to that. Like there's peaceful talks and everything, and peaceful pressure to not escalate the conflict, but it's been going on all my life. It's been happening, and they've been fighting there, and there's no solution to that. There's no peaceful solution to that conflict. That's literally what I stated immediately. What we should do is we should completely stop supporting each one of the sides. But that's not going to happen because there are different political or ideological and religious beliefs on both sides. So one of the sides will always be supported by someone, and that's why it's literally thousands and thousands of years lasting proxy war for literally everybody else around the world. That's how I see the situation. War is not a free pass to do anything. Every modern war has rules, and deliberately targeting civilians is prohibited. Yeah, that's and again, like you have no further information about that. Deliberately targeting civilians is prohibited. Yeah, it might be prohibited, but it's not then enforced, and it will always be said it's a collateral damage because those Gaza soldiers were hiding in school with kids, using them as human shields so that whoever attacks them would face war crimes. Like which one is moral? Bombard them or them hiding behind the kids? Like I don't know. I don't know. It's not for me to judge. Regardless who does it, saying one side must wipe out the other to win, it's not how most conflicts and many wars have ended through ceasefire negotiations, peace treaties, or military. Yeah, but without eliminating entire population. Yeah, but if there's a ceasefire and some negotiations and peace treaties, like that's like my closer conflict like that is Ukraine, and that's literally resurface or that's been ongoing on for a long time as well. Like for 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago, like it's just resurfacing, and they are in conflict over and over and over again because of there's a ceasefire, peace negotiation, and whatever, and then it happens again because there are two parties that just completely disagree with each other. Like that's literally what happened in Sri Lanka, for example. Like you had multiple parties that completely disagreed with each other, and there was a civil war. There was no conflict before. There's no war. It's internal, but it's internal struggle in between two completely different groups of people with completely different opinions and morals and beliefs. And once they are not able to cooperate, there's a friction, there's a conflict. And that's literally what's happening like everywhere around the world all the time. You see Ukraine, you see Israel, you see Congo, you see I don't know what is it, Myanmar. There's ongoing wars like everywhere around the world, not just in Israel. Mm. Okay, so what were you saying? War is not a free pass. How most conflicts and many wars have ended through ceasefire. Yeah, and that's are acceptable because it's war. Then it's the same logic could be justify atrocities by any side in any conflict. A consistent standard is to condemn attacks on civilians, no matter what do. Yeah, it is. You should condemn attacks on civilians because they are not the ones who escalate the fighting and whatnot. I'm from Czech Republic, so Central Europe. By that logic, every conflict that lasted decades should have continued forever. Should have. No, that's not how I would frame it. I would frame it does continue forever. Because there's always people who remember and there's grudges and they just keep resurfacing because those populations just somehow clash with each other and there is no peaceful solution. Well, it's just fight for resources and the religious aspect of the conflict is definitely not helping. Out of the other side, then all you are saying is that endless killing is the answer. Not endless killing. Like that I said, one of the sides will perish inevitably or just migrate somewhere completely elsewhere. But nobody will want them because this is our land. You can't come in. That's the migration part. That's why I said the global warming is an issue because there are population migrations to parts of the world that are already somebody else's home, and it creates friction and clashes like literally everywhere. Out of the other side, even if you believe actions taken during the Sri Lankan civil war were justified, that does not prove every action in every other war is justified. The question is not what happened in Sri Lanka. The question is whether civilians are being protected. And yeah, but who can protect the civilians? Only the local military. And even if you were able to protect the civilians and the military gets wiped out, or like let's say there is not only a ceasefire, but there is let's say liberation or annexation of Gaza Strip by Israelis, and it's officially Israelish. Like then you have within your country, meaning Israel, within Israel you would have a population of people who remember the atrocities, who have different political views, who have different religious views, and that population is just completely different, and it will result in civil war again because there will be conflicts ongoing and resurfacing every decade or 2 decades or more often, like whatever, because those are two groups of people who literally just can't live with each other. And if that's the case, they wouldn't be able to accept that. Like there's no way to resolve that situation. And Israelis kind of extended the olive branch that there were no war in there for decades, and 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 they started attacking and doing the terrorist attacks from Gaza on Israel, and that's how the conflict escalated. Israelis were latent, they were not doing anything, they were just protecting their land, letting them do whatever they want, and they escalated the conflict again. And that's gonna happen all the time. So there's no peaceful solution to that conflict, only one side would perish. That would end the conflict. Just completely wiping out one or the other of the population. I know it's incredibly hard to hear and say that, but that's what I think. That's what I think. I'm not a politician. I'm not projecting anything. I'm just saying like that's how I see this situation. That it's not resolvable. But just have to look nowhere. Kids get airdrop bombs and says it's fighter hiding in school, damage, the logic is gone far. No, that's literally what's happening in there. That's literally what's happening. And that's immoral from their side. But since they can morally justify terrorizing Israel, then I guess that they just don't care about the morals anymore, right? So why should Israelis care? Why should they care? Before Zionism, mass arrival Palestinians lived under Ottoman rule without national war against Jewish neighbors. The first violent riots in 1920 and 21 and 29 were triggered by Jewish immigration and land purchases under British mandate, not by Palestinian state aggression group like Irgun and Lehi carried out bombings and massacres like Deir Yassin in 1948 before any Arab army entered Israel. Yeah, well, I didn't know that. I just like that's the thing. I'm not. I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, maybe, but it might be just a recent. Like they've been clashing there for hundreds of years, not just decades or the last century, right? Like that conflict has been ongoing for very long time, very long time. So it's very hard for me to judge the conflict. I just understand that that's something that's within us, and that is that how would you describe it? It's just a war for territory and resources. It's been always like that with us humans. Not only just us humans. I know as for the fact that there are clashes in between chimp populations. Like whenever you have let's say valley that's plentiful with resources, I don't know, bananas and whatnot, and you have population of chimps there, like whenever they thrive and the population grows, it results in overpopulation, a lack of resources and malnourishment and stuff, and that populations need to spread and expand. But in the next valley there is different populations of different chimps, and they literally kill each other in a war for territory. And it's same for chimps as it's for humans. You have some resources and you fight for the resources. With humans and our social constructs and beliefs, like we not only have the resources that we clash for, we have religious beliefs on top of that. And these religious beliefs are the culprit, or why it's no longer possible to find an agreement, because it's no longer only about the resources, but also morals, moral standards, and those are rooted in the population. And if two groups of people living in the same space have completely different morals, they might not be able to ever cooperate with each other. And that's the issue that's happening in Israel, that they are not able to cooperate anymore because of the social norms and morals and beliefs. Own historians like Benny Morris confirm early Zionist military strategy was offensive, not just defensive. So peace was never broken by Palestinians, first it was broken by colonization and land takeover. Yeah, well, that's kind of the migration. It's just that I might have been wrong in when Israelis went there and that Palestinians were taking over. It was the other way around. Maybe. Okay, I didn't know. Imperial protection. Now I got a question. If Israelis were peaceful from the start, the recent logic is what I'm not getting. Israelis logic. This land was promised us for 40,000 years. If we use that logic, you or me can't find a home or house that wasn't promised. Tomorrow, dude can say this earth was promised to them for 1,000 years. Any logic? That's what I'm saying. It's not factual. Yeah, well. I'm sure that you can find many examples out there. We are not a peaceful. We're not a peaceful. How would you call it? Species. Definitely not a peaceful species. Yes. That's what I'm saying, this infection. Anyway, glad to know people like you exist who are open to hear. Yeah, well, always open-minded. I think is the best way to be. Even though you were giving you to the effort to read and appreciate, but once like literally started reading that bit and just a little bit to know those kids didn't deserve what they got. Yeah, well. No denying that. Could have been me or you in that 21k. Yeah, well. You could have been a number during the Sri Lankan Civil War. Seen a single Palestinian in my life. Huh. I don't know. I don't know whether I did or not. I am not sure whether I did or not. unless it's in TV, right? In TV you do. Outside of television, I don't think that I've ever met a Palestinian. And ever since I can't get that peace knowing they might walk out after killing 21,000 people, 21,000 kids. You might have, since you're in Europe, here is mostly where our Asians since few years we're seeing a rise in Chinese visitors. Yeah, well, but before Trump, you know, if you, since I'm playing the game, right? If you have time, could you please look up how many people in, let's say, past 50 years, 60, 70, I don't know, ever since like the end of Second World War, how many people actually got a Nobel Peace Prize for the peace talks in Israel and Gaza? How many people were awarding Nobel Prize for peace because of that conflict? I would be curious about that, because I'm pretty sure that there were negotiations like with what was the name? Gaddafi? No, not Gaddafi. It's when I was young. Because I'm pretty sure that it was like Clinton, maybe, and maybe the other guy from Palestine. I'm not 100% sure, but like. Huh, easy mask. Be right back. I have to go pee. Alright, I'm back. Here mostly there are Asians. Since few years we're seeing a rise in Chinese visitors, but then the screens I understood one thing, there is a strong Israeli lobby trying to work this out with the help of Trump. Yeah, I've read that. That's why I asked about the Nobel Prizes for peace negotiations in Israel and Gaza. They want Palestine, Gaza gone from the news, just like how it used to be. You mean Ralph Bunche? He was an American diplomat. Yeah, well, I don't mean Ralph Bunche. I mean the Palestinian guy, not Gaddafi. I don't know why I still have Gaddafi on my mind. It wasn't Gaddafi. There's there's Libya. There's somewhere else. Yasser Arafat. That's the one. Yasser Arafat. There were always negotiations with him in TV like 20 years ago, or maybe even more than 20. Just to remember Yasser Arafat to be by the peace negotiations around Palestine and stuff. But still, like, how many people got Nobel Prize for peace negotiations in Palestine? I would be curious. Does people know about this? A lot of protests. Where the thing is that I feel like we have our own problems, right? Hold on a phone. Let me mute myself. My father was taken to a hospital. It's not looking good. I don't really want to delve into that, but he has cancer ongoing, and it's not good. It's hard. He's 75 now. No, he's 76. Get to this cave now. In Netherlands, 200,000 people protest for Palestine. One of the biggest protests in Netherlands. Yeah, well. So, what will be the result? Like, will they stop? You know, trading? Or like, what should be the result? Well, I'm visiting them very often. Very often. Every weekend I'm taking my kids to see the grandparents. Every single weekend. And we will very likely, and we're going there. We're going over there today, so we will very likely go check out on him in the hospital. honestly, I feel like you're a good human too. Because you care. Not many people do lately. I need to focus. I need to focus because... Ooh. If I don't focus, I'm gonna get lost in this cave. I already got lost, to be honest. Okay. Nice. I got the Daisha hand. And now I need to find the painting. It's right below me. Okay. That means it might be down there. Swim under the logs if you find anything like that. Just oh, it continues to the others. Okay. Geographical luck. I have a good spawn point. Literally the best country in the world. Literally. Republic is beautiful. We have a beautiful fertile land, a lot of forests where you can forage for mushrooms and stuff. So lovely in here, man. really wonderful land. And also it's been civilized for thousands of years in here. So I definitely do thank to our ancestors for the opportunity to grow up in such a nice country that's well developed and safe. There's no lions and tigers and cave birds in here. So it's great. It's a great place to be. Resident Evil said someone thought Ethan Winters, like for his daughter, he goes to far ends, like the character shows how much a father can do for his kids. In the end, he dies. Well, spoiler, thank you. But I have another one for you. Everybody knows. We are on actually quite short diamond. It's not a very long journey on this planet. You just do 75 circles around the sun and you're gone. So try to enjoy it when it lasts. So we are not here forever. And it goes by really quickly. I do everything I do for my kids, and I hope they see and appreciate it properly. Okay, got the mask, and now the die shot. seen a lot of fathers with their kids. A lot of kids with their father. Yeah, well. There's some people are in the system, so speak about that everywhere I go. As he said, it would change. Saying free Palestine is not just a statement, it's an act of moral witness. One voice breaks silence, and silence is what allows occupation to continue. You alone change the conversation. Yeah, that's true. If you remain silent, you silently accept it, you kind of agree with it, you allow it to happen. The conversation changes what others see as normal history, shifts when individuals refuse to accept injustice, not when everyone waits for a movement to form. Yeah, that's true. So let's hope goodness will come. I will pray for you, Father, too. Glad to meet you. I'm going to eat. Well, bon appetit, man. Thank you for stopping by. An interesting conversation. I didn't want to delve into it before, but eventually it proved to be nourishment for the soul.
Artie! Uhara.
Oh, a bonfire.
Flash.
Jag minns att ägg på delar det förstår.
Odio. Suklis die. Shrash su.
Zila Shashtem Shisu. Winja Safta.
Usai wal waikash. Wal shaish. Aish winja dramash.
Anku Mansipa. Shawi Pagwamarsh. Shishu mamsela. Waida sashi.
I think that would be enough for today.